The mind maze was not a game. It was a rite of passage at the Galactic Academy, a trial whispered about in darkened dormitories and studied with nervous reverence. Entire cadet cohorts had failed it, their dreams of command dissolved within its impossible shifting corridors. It wasn't about physical strength or speed, it was about mental endurance, perception, and the ability to solve riddles that bent reality itself. The alien students of the Academy feared it with good reason. For a Zeldar cadet, the mind maze was an infinite labyrinth of light that fractured their sensory organs. For the Karani, it was a living puzzle that consumed them if they hesitated too long. For the reptilian Dravek, it was a swamp of illusions where every wrong answer turned the ground into quicksand. The maze tailored itself to its victim, amplifying weaknesses, exploiting fear, and magnifying doubt until the cadet broke. On the day of the trial, a dozen students stood waiting at the obsidian gates of the simulator chamber. All but one shifted uneasily, their claws, antennae, or tails twitching with suppressed anxiety. Only the human cadet, Daniel Mercer, leaned casually against the wall, arms crossed, eyes bright with curiosity. The others whispered. Humans were new to the Academy, admitted only in the last decade. Their reputation was mixed, resilient, unpredictable, reckless. Some thought them primitive. Others thought them dangerous. None thought they would thrive in the mind maze. The overseer's voice boomed across the chamber. Step forward. Enter. Survive. The first cadet, a Zeldar named Vake, strode forward with trembling limbs. The gates swallowed him, and the monitors above the chamber flickered to life. The maze unfolded on the screen, corridors of light and mirrors twisting without end. Vake's scream echoed for only a moment before his image blinked out. Failure. A Karani entered next. Her long fingers twitched as she tried to manipulate glowing puzzle spheres hovering in the maze. One slipped. The spheres multiplied, collapsing around her like a storm. Failure. One by one they tried, and one by one the maze devoured them. At last, Daniel stepped forward. He entered without hesitation. The maze welcomed him with its shifting walls and impossible geometry, corridors curling like Mobius strips, symbols crawling across the floor in alien languages. To the spectators, the human's pulse should have spiked, his expression should have tightened in fear. Instead, he grinned. Crossword time, he muttered. Where others saw endless runes, Daniel saw patterns. He tilted his head, parsing the alien glyphs like jumbled letters, and began muttering possible answers under his breath. His finger traced across the walls, as if penciling in solutions. A lot that required multidimensional equations became, in his mind, nothing more than a riddle with a punchline. When the floor split into a river of fire, he didn't panic. He squinted at the floating tiles above it, each etched with fragments of words. He arranged them into a sentence and chuckled when the flames vanished. The overseer leaned forward, his usually impassive face betraying surprise. The maze tried harder. Shadows of fear, illusions meant to paralyze the mind, rose from the walls, whispering failures, regrets, and doubts. The alien cadets had always buckled at this stage. But Daniel simply waved them away, muttering, Yeah, I've heard worse from crossword editors on Sunday mornings." His stride never faltered. Minutes ticked by. The maze shifted, desperate to trap him. The final chamber formed around him, an impossible knot of bridges looping into infinity, a puzzle designed to collapse into chaos with one wrong move. The audience held their breath. Daniel tilted his head, squinting. "Looks like one of those trick questions," he said, amused. Then he simply stepped off the bridge. Gasps filled the viewing gallery. But instead of plummeting, the illusion shattered. The maze dissolved into light. The gates opened. Daniel strolled out, hands in his pockets, looking more like someone who had just finished a lazy afternoon puzzle than a trial that had broken generations of cadets. Silence held the chamber. Dozens of alien eyes stared at him, unblinking. Then someone whispered, "He solved it." The overseer's voice carried, sharp and resonant. "Cadet Daniel Mercer has completed the mind maze. Record unbroken. Fear none." The aliens glanced at each other uneasily. For them, the maze was a nightmare. For the human, it had been entertainment. Daniel smirked. "Not bad. Got any harder ones? Maybe with clues down and across this time?" For the first time in centuries, the maze had been beaten not through fearlessness or calculation, but through play. And the students of the Galactic Academy realized, with a chill of awe, that humans did not just survive terror. They laughed in its face and turned it into a game.